Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Read Tsukihime. Someone pointed out that the one, future chapter had, instead of a number, it was a Roman numeral, which is like, what? I didn't even realize that, right? Because the number followed sequentially to be number 6, but it was like the Roman numeral. I was like, whoa, why? So we'll have to see what that means. We'll have to see. I'm really curious. Anyways, evil at every corner 1. Is there evil at this corner? Oh, I leap out of bed, unable to take it any longer. Holding back the urge to vomit, I breathe like some sort of animal. Oh, what was that just now? A dream. It was a dream, but what was that? It's different than what I saw 2 days ago. The feeling of walking the streets at night. The smell of blood lingering in my nose. The sound of dragging that girl who was close to my age. All of it is fresh in my memory. So of course it's tough because it's like, did the question that at least I have, I'm sure people have already figured it out or they know what's going on. Is like, if that future dream happens in the future, then this is Shiki and we're seeing it from his perspective. But if that future dream actually happened now, right? Which it could have happened, right? Because then it could be the two girls went to the school. They killed Shiki, but then whose visions are these, right? And if these are his visions, is it actually Shiki who is going into his crazy mode, right? And then of course, after fighting him, that's why Akiha's resting in bed. That's why we haven't seen her since then. So that's kind of how I'm feeling, but we'll have to see. Was that something you could call pleasure? It was pure excitement condensed like a bullet fired straight into my head. Ugh, my breathing stops just thinking about it. Then perhaps that impact could be something called pleasure. Why did I kind of dream? I look down at my hands. Of course, they are pure white without a trace of red blood on them. So, the one night where he had the blood on his hands, like for real, it could have easily just been a night where like Kohaku snuck in and painted his hands red. Just to mess with him, because I'm feeling like that's something she would do now. But for an instant, I saw both my hands covered in red. What, you too? Huh? This is the first time I've seen another killer besides myself. That's right. I wait, no, yeah, we did have that conversation too. So it's kind of tough to make that not seem like he killed someone because he went there and also had coffee with Shiki, so that's right, I did have that conversation. The same city doesn't need 2 killers. I'll give you this place, but when was that? Why can't I remember? Certainly, I feel like I had that conversation with someone, but I just can't remember. Was it real or was it just an empty dream? I just remember that the killer said I was the same as him. That's strange. Why is it all mixed up in my head? I earnestly try hard to remember about last night's dream. Whoa! My head pounds. Ugh! I can't remember. When I try to remember it yesterday, I feel the urge to vomit. I'm scared. I'm scared of the fact that I can't remember. Feels like a Tonoshiki I don't know is killing people, and in order to hide it, is deceiving the Tonoshiki that is me. And I sense someone in the hallway. Who's there? I call out. Knock, knock. Please excuse me, Hisui says as she enters the room. It's just a normal morning scene. Is it because she's acting so naturally? My pounding heart instantly calms down. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Hisui? Yes, it is time, so I prepared your change of clothes already. Shiki-sama? Are you not feeling well? No, that's not it. I feel fine. There's nothing wrong. I get up from bed as if to prove my words. Morning, Hisui. I'll go to the sitting room after I change, so please go ahead of me. Yes. Well then, please excuse me. God, it's so funny that, like, Nintendo has posted a tweet where they're like, for Pokemon Legends Arceus, they're like, say Hisui, and then take a picture, and it's like, yeah, say Hisui. Yeah. Say Hisui. Say it. Say it. Don't forget her name. Hisui quietly closes the door and leaves. After watching her go, I take a deep breath. Just like... oh... like that. Exactly like that. Why am I feeling down like this? Probably because I found out about my old man's illness yesterday. Just because my symptoms are similar to his, maybe I'm being too paranoid. Yeah. Ever since I came back, I've been so tired. I shouldn't think about that dream. Well then, it's almost 7. Like yesterday, I should be able to enjoy the morning. And then, unthinkingly, I step into the sitting room and it hits me that I forgot something very important. My pants! Oh crap! I swallow my words. Akiha, Hisui, and Kohaku-san are in the sitting room. Everything seems just like normal, but after what happened yesterday, I'm sure it'll be really awkward. Akiha and Kohaku seem to have reached an understanding, but I haven't spoken with Akiha yet. Thinking how Akiha acted yesterday, I'm pretty sure Akiha's still mad at me. Oh, no. She's even fine with the fact I'm not wearing my pants. Good morning, Nissan. Did you sleep well? Huh? And Akiha greets me with a big smile. My mind freezes at such an unexpected event. Akiha still has a big smile as I stand there. Akiha's way too cheerful, and it makes me think she's planning something. Shiki-sama, would you care to sit down? Yeah, if you want me to sit, I will. I fearfully look at Akiha as I sit across from her. Morning, Akiha. You seem to be in a good mood today. Is that so? Certainly I feel much better, so I probably look less pale than before. No, it's far beyond not looking pale. Anyway, first I have to thank you. I really wanted to thank you yesterday, but I was feeling rather ill and did not have an opportunity. He looks directly at me. There isn't even a trace of yesterday's coldness. It almost also seems like the air of danger has disappeared. Thank me? I didn't really do anything to deserve that. That's not true. You took care of me when I was sick, right? Because you embraced me. I was determined. I was extremely happy that night. Oh, she says something that catches me totally off guard. And then, I feel incredibly heavy pressure against my back. I glance behind me. There, Hisui and Kohaku stare at me in a manner far different than usual. Akiha, don't say things that might give people the wrong impression. You were in such pain, I just supported you, that's all. Oh, I suppose wrapping your arms around me is just supporting me. Yo, Akiha's so forward this route. And again, she hasn't told us that we're not related. Like, it's so wild. She's like, she would much rather dive headfirst. Like, she literally, for the fact that it's too complicated to explain, doesn't tell us this and would rather just us think it's incest. Akiha giggles softly. They're staring at me. The stares of the two behind me get even heavier. Now look, you're acting odd. Are you enjoying making fun of me? Yes, a lot. Looking at your troubled face is fun. This is just too weird. Is this really Akiha's personality? You have some strange hobbies. Bothering me in the morning and lecturing me last night? Well, I thought so at first, but you must really have something against me. I end with a sigh. All of a sudden, Akiha averts her gaze. I'm very sorry. What I did yesterday was stupid. There was something wrong with me, and I've already apologized to Kohaku. You apologized to Kohaku-san? I blurt this out in surprise. Not only did she apologize, but she apologized to Kohaku-san. Hey, Nissan, just what kind of person do you think I am? I was at fault, so it's only natural I apologize to Kohaku, right? When she says that, I get a vague mental image of her acting as a strict mistress. Nissan, you're thinking of something bad, aren't you? She's sharp. As happy as she is, it doesn't do anything to dull her sense of perception. Shiki-san, I hate to ruin your fun, but would you like to have some breakfast? It's almost time, so I thought I should make some. Oh, I forgot. I'm not so much hungry as I am thirsty, though. Oh, that won't do, Shiki-san. You collapsed yesterday, so you need to eat to regain your strength. Now, enjoy my Eggo waffles and instant McNuggets that I made for you. Chicken and waffles. That's a good breakfast. A little bit of paprika on there. Even if you don't feel like eating, you should have some food. What she says is true, but I don't feel like it right now. After seeing that dream, I can't bring myself to eat. Except maybe leftover spaghetti. Nei-san, if Shiki-sama does not feel well, I do not think you should force him. Hey, sweet-chan, you are too indulgent when it comes to Shiki-san. Huh? Shiki-san, you're not feeling well again this morning? Kawaku stares at me. As if on cue, Hisui and Akiha add their serious stares on me as well. I guess I can't really go fooling myself. To tell the truth, I do feel a little under the weather. I can eat, but can you make me something I don't need to chew? I feel pretty bad, and I can't really taste anything. After telling the truth, Kawaku-san says, "Oh, I see," and looks a little downcast. Dang, we can't taste anything? Looks like we can have some of Hisui's cooking then. Heyo, badoom-ch. I feel horrible for saying that. As the one in charge of cooking, she probably feels something about what I said. Shiki-sama? I think you are not feeling well because there was a change in your environment. So if the match is not suitable for you, maybe you should go back and live with the Arima family for a while. Hisui's opinion is driven by sincere concern for my health. Ever since I came back, my life has been strange. Since that promise from 8 years ago has apparently been forgotten, maybe it's better for my health if I go to live with the Arimas. Yeah, that may be good too. Although I've only been here for a week, if I don't seem to get used to it soon, I'll leave for a while and go regain my health. Well, that may be jumping the gun a bit, I add. And then, suddenly Akiha stands up from her sofa. Oh, that will not do, Ni-san. You finally came back, so please do not leave again. If you say you're going to leave one more time, I will kill you, Ni-san. Akiha smiles as she says that joke and disappears towards the lobby. It's not really a joke. Hisui-chan, it's time for Akiha-sama to go to school. Please accompany her to the door. I'll be taking care of Shiki-san's breakfast. With a simple yes, Hisui walks after Akiha. Well then, I'll go make you something easy for you to eat. Please wait just a moment. Gwaku walks quickly towards the kitchen. I sit on the sofa dumbstruck. I'll kill you, Ni-san. Those words won't leave my head. It's probably because even though it was a joke, it didn't sound like a joke to me. Kohaku comes back with a big old pot of natto. It's like, oh great, thanks. Not only do I have to eat something that I have to chew, it's sticky and smelly. Great. Noon arrives. As usual, Arihiko is skipping school. Is he dead? Like, for real. I feel like he died in this route. Just off camera. Guess I'll go to the cafeteria. I don't feel like eating by myself here. Maybe if I go to the lively cafeteria, my appetite might pick up a bit. As expected, the cafeteria is full of people. Whoop. Positively bustling. After waiting in a long line, I buy the tried and true meal set A and walk to the table. Listening to the voices of everyone else, I begin to eat. And then, for a moment, I see a terrible image. Is it the television screen? I gape at the large television mounted on the wall at the end of the cafeteria. At my school, they record the morning news and replay it at lunch. I just stare dumbfounded at the news broadcast that is several hours late. No way. I watch the news in amazed horror. Shown in the television is the alley that I saw last night in my dream. The newscaster's talking. On the screen, the words "Vampire Serial Killer's New Victim" appears in bloody lettering. It appears that the girl was saved. The girl's in the hospital, recovering from having her blood drained. Is that the first time someone has survived? She's still unconscious. Chances of recovery are unknown. The identity of who attacked and stole her blood is also unknown. The picture of the girl on the television is unmistakably the girl from last night. That means there's one thing that isn't unknown. The criminal who attacked her is, without a doubt, I start to feel faint. How come? That was a dream. It had to be a dream. But in reality, the same person in my dream had her blood sucked out the same way in my dream. That vampire should already be gone. I killed Yumizuka with my own hands. Those killings, they shouldn't happen anymore. I killed. Yes, I killed. Just like the time I killed Yumizuka. While breathing hard last night, that woman I've never met. Didn't I tell you, Shiki-kun? It's useless to resist it. What are you talking about? You're more of a killer than I am. Ugh, resisting the urge to throw up, I get up from my seat. I can't go back to class. I find myself running into the city. I come to the place I saw in my dream. There are several policemen around the area, and tape reading "Police line, do not cross" is stretched across the alley. Exactly the same. Without a doubt, this is the place I went to in my dream. No, it wasn't a dream. I can't delude myself into thinking it's a dream any longer. Even if I stay here longer, the cops will only stare at me. I can't go back to school now, so I guess I'll go back to the mansion. Yeah, normally if a cop saw him there, they'd be like, yo, kid, I see that uniform, get back, right? But I guess they're just too busy, dealing with, well, a dead body. Since it's not even 2 o'clock yet, Hisui isn't waiting in the lobby. I can say I got lucky. I don't feel like seeing anyone right now. I glance at my reflection in the window. The pale face looks like a completely different Shiki, with a different moveset that can be activated in the new game by popping super. Myself that looks like another person. The dream that seemed like it belonged to another person. That which cannot be noticed. The traces of the killing that only remains in my memory. Dizziness. Before me, my vision goes black. No, I'm not the same as my old man. Desperately fending off the dizziness, I try to stay upright. My old man. I can go to the old man's room. I can find out about his illness. If I do that, I can confirm I'm not the same. If I am the same, there might be a way to help myself. His room is on the first floor in the western part of the mansion, next to Kohaku-san's room. Of course it's next to Kohaku-san's room. They're probably connected. It was fortunate that I left school early. At this time, no one else is around. I pull out my knife and take off my glasses. I try to cut the line at the door's lock and put my glasses back on. The room was not locked. My old man's room is just like it always was. Nearly all the rows of books are educational reports, and nothing catches my attention. What I want right now is my old man's journal or notes. The old man was extremely methodical. There certainly has to be something like that just lying around somewhere. Of course they're not just lying around where anyone can see them. Maybe they're locked away somewhere. I should probably look in the desk drawers first. This isn't the time to be fooling around. Take off my glasses, I look at the lines. Using my knife, I cut the lines on the drawer. Inside there appears to be some old documents bundled together in what seems to be a journal. First, I look at the old documents. This is my family tree. Definitely. Right after Tonomaki Hisa's written Shiki and Akiha. And right after that, the word Ninaya is written there. My old man, he adopted a son 10 years ago. But he passed away shortly thereafter. 10 years ago. Well, that would mean I was just in elementary school. That long ago, it's only natural I wouldn't remember. I don't know about that. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I have a better memory than some people because I've talked to some friends and like they've all looked at me like I'm crazy when I talk about like memories from elementary school. I'll like bring up something and they'll be like, I don't remember that, right? Or I'll talk to a friend and he'll be like, I'll be like, yo, did you watch a show when you were a kid? He's like, I don't remember. Like, what? How do you not remember? Like, even if I showed it to you, you could probably instantly know, like, yeah, I watched that or no, I didn't, right? I mean, you could literally show me a picture of a cartoon and I'll instantly be able to tell you if I've ever watched an episode of it. Instantly, right? Because it's memory, right? Is that in the old memory banks? No? Yes? So, but I feel like as something as important as a person living at a house. Now, okay, the only thing is, okay, well, there was the accident. Okay, right, okay. He lost some he has a bit of amnesia. But I feel like most people would be able to remember back then. But I guess, of course, that's because I'm in the position of being able to. If he doesn't know that that's normal, then he wouldn't know because we can only be in our own shoes. So, okay, I'm thinking too deeply about this. Anyways, yeah, no, it's just rambling. Let's see. The heads of the household have pretty short lifespans. My old man died before he was 50, and before that, before 30 in an accident. Before that, 18 years of age with suicide, and yet they had a child, which is like, hey, good for them. No, wait a second. No matter how you look at it, this is strange. Looking through the family tree, all members of the Tono household have died strangely. Madness, accidents, murder, disappearances, stillbirth. Not one of them lived a long life or even died peacefully. This entire document is filled with horrible fates. Even worse, most of the deaths or causes of death are madness. Most of them, these ended up taking their own lives. Well, that's strange. All of this is strange, but I can't exactly place my finger on it. Next is my old man's journal. Pick up the journal, which has a relatively new binding. Thump thump, my heart starts to pound. My heart seems to understand that I shouldn't be opening this. But I can't turn back now. Swallowing hard, I open my old man's journal. There's a demon lurking inside the Tono bloodline. The opening statement is in those lines, and it isn't just a simple metaphor. The ancestors of the Tono were a mixed breed of something non-human and human. We, being their descendants, also have an element of something non-human in our blood. In regards to our blood, there are those with strong and those with weak non-human blood. Those with weak non-human blood can live their lives as ordinary people, but those with strong non-human blood can never live a normal life. Those with strong tonal blood are born with special powers. It could be a body that is resistant to death. It can be an ability to move things without touching them, or it could be fangs used to take bodily fluids from other people. When this blood becomes too strong, the members of the Tono family start to gradually lose their sanity. The majority of those become demons that feed on human flesh. So, the head of the Tono household carries the responsibility of punishing those who have turned into such a monster. Oh, it's messed up. My old man, what was he trying to say? Writing so seriously about something that's more like a fairy tale. The journal turns more into the old man's rant. The date is roughly 9 years ago. The handwriting starts to get erratic. I'm no longer able to suppress my raging blood. I was able to obtain an orphan from a family of synchronizers, so this should help strengthen my mind. However, it is really only a matter of time before I go insane. It's terrifying. When I come to, I find that I can't even remember half the day. During that time, I'm forcing my inversion impulse on that child. God, it is exactly what I thought it was at the time, too! If this keeps up, it's only a matter of time before I completely lose my sanity and turn into a beast. I don't even know how much time I have left to remain as myself. No, if that child is here, I could probably last a few more years, but that child will not be able to bear that. After that child breaks, I will have to take my own life. So, at least he was sympathetic to this. He's like, he's like, I mean, I could diddle this child and live longer, but, like, I shouldn't, because she's gonna break. It is incredibly ironic. I eliminated so many things in order to preserve myself, but in the end, I will probably have to commit suicide. Or maybe this is the curse of the Nanayas. I end up adopting his son, but I guess I could not lift their grudge with such a thing. But I can't make up for the events of the past. If death is waiting for me, then I must accept it when the time comes, but until then, I must protect my children. Akiha's blood is weak. Unless she wishes it herself, she does not have to suffer the same fate. The problem is Shiki. That child is incredibly close to me. More than anything else, I do not want that child to suffer my fate. If the Tono blood is unnatural, I need to distance him as much as possible from the Tono name and see how he will fare. I let out a deep breath and expel the air from my lungs. Take a break from reading. It makes me sick. Contents of my old man's journal are so far from reality that it's just plain weird. My old man didn't just have manic depression. Rather, he just became violent without his knowing. Just like Tono Shiki right now. That's strange. But that isn't what concerns me. He writes Shiki and Akiha strangely. Looking back to the family tree, I see that he writes Akiha with the Chinese letter characters for autumn leaves, while Shiki is written using the characters for 4 seasons. Huh. The characters for 4 seasons can be pronounced as Shiki, but the characters in my name are intention and esteemed. God. That... Like, you can write that in English, and it's like, okay, but it really doesn't make sense until the Japanese, you know? Ugh. I have a feeling that thinking too hard about this will be bad, but my train of thought does not stop. What are these synchronizers? Maybe the adopted child? But I feel that's wrong too. Anyway, I've only half read through all this. If I read through it completely, I might come up with a solution, but do I really want to find out? I feel like vomiting. I can't stay standing. Hurry. I must hurry back to my room and sleep. It feels like something is wrong with my head. But still, I decided to go back to reading the journal. The rest of it seems to be a record of some sort. The date starts in the summer of 8 years ago and about a month after that. I don't understand it yet, but I continue to look through it. Month, day. My son Shiki succumbed to his tonal blood. Shiki, he killed my adopted son who happened to be there. The adopted son is the heir of the house Nanaya. I guess it is a blessing in that all the unfortunate events that he isn't in the same families as synchronizers like Kohaku and Hisui. Shiki's inversion impulse is terrible, so it was determined he must be eliminated. I have my duty as the head of the Tono household, but killing my own son is difficult. The Tono blood is stronger in Shiki than in Akiha. Talking about potential, I feel an older origin in Akiha's blood, but Shiki's Tono blood runs much stronger. I assume that is why Shiki inverted before he became an adult. Shiki's powers are immortality and fusion. Shiki could not manage the awakened powers and as a result killed the adopted Nanaya child, taking his life. I have to say it was a superb job for using his powers for the first time. Month, day. Both Shiki and the adopted son managed to escape death. Day, month. The problem of maintaining appearances to normal society still remains. Shiki has killed the adopted Nanaya child. I've covered up the incident, but Shiki cannot be shown to the public. The wound I gave him hasn't healed, and his figure has transformed. He is not in the condition to be brought in front of the others as Tono Shiki. He cannot be called human either. The Nanaya child still lives. As long as he lives, I've decided to use him. If there are any disagreements, I would like to hear them. Complementarity. The Nanayas are a family that produce killers. If their adopted son happens to stay alive, the link between him and Shiki may corrupt Shiki's mind. If Shiki regains his sanity, I cannot deny the possibility of Nanaya's child influence turning him into a killer. To prevent this from occurring, we must have him somewhere where we can keep an eye on him, but we cannot allow him near the Tono mansion either. I should have him raised by an appropriate branch of the family. Month, day. The Tono blood that has awakened within Shiki. Maybe it is because he's so close to death, but he's regained his sanity like before. But I don't know if something will cause him to invert again. Even though it tears me apart, I cannot allow Shiki near the Tono mansion either. I place him in the care of a trusted servant. Month, day. I put my adopted son from the Nanaya family into the care of another branch of our family. Akiha hates me. Akiha has lost both of her brothers at the same time, so I suppose it is only natural. Month, day. I start to raise Akiha as the next head of the household. Akiha has more than enough talent to carry out her duties as head of the household. Shiki may have the ability of immortality, but Akiha has the power to plunder. I thought her power was to do sick repukins, but okay. As siblings, both of them have the ability to share and take life energy. It is regretful. If only she was born 10 years ago, I would have been able to eliminate the Nanayas without the help from the Kishimas. Yo, Kishima. That sounds like someone who dunks. But I have to be careful. Her ability to plunder is a double-edged sword. She might plunder someone's entire concept while plundering their heat. What? Well, yeah, okay, that makes sense for the plunder, for the heat. That's how she can take heat from things. But you can plunder a concept? What does that mean? Is this like soft and wet? Can you just be like, I plunder the concept of friction and then they're slipping? Like, frick, that's horrible. I have to teach her how not to attract the curse of an enemy. Month, day. Akiha tried to visit the Arima residence. I cannot let her and my adopted son see each other. I placed her in a boarding school so that her freedom is limited. Month, day. Recently, my condition has been getting worse. It seems like the daughter of the synchronizers is not enough now. Month, day. For the first time in a long time, I have come back to myself. How many months has it been since I last picked up the pen? There will probably not be a next time. I'll have to finish writing here. I gave instructions for this to be given to my daughter Akiha after my death. I don't know if Akiha will ever read this, but if she does, it is to be destroyed. That is my only request for my daughter to fulfill. What is this? The child adopted 10 years ago. I completely forgot about that. I killed him? That summer day 8 years ago when I received that wound. He killed me. That summer day 8 years ago when I received this wound. Oh, is he gonna figure it out himself because he's actually reading the whole freaking document? That'd be nice. That's nice, because I think in the other ones he reads halfway and is like, I figured it all out, and then he just like gets the wrong idea. Nausea wells within me. I feel sick. The memory that I'd forgotten until now runs through my head. I understand. Everything has been written down, so I have to accept it. Besides, everything falls into place. The reason I was adopted by the Arimas, the reason I was disinherited as the eldest son, it's nothing. In other words, Shiki wasn't only a replacement for the one named Shiki. Look at this dude, he came up with it all himself. What is this? Cursing myself, I tossed the journal to the side. There's no need for me to investigate any further. Staying here any longer is just a waste of my time. I'm so happy he figured it out himself. The day ends. Collapsed on my bed, I just kept thinking about the same thing. Thinking calmly, there were only 2 things I found out from that journal. That I'm not part of the Tono family, which makes all... it makes all of Akiha's weird advances not weird. We're good, guys. That the Nanaya lineage turns out a large number of killers. Though what he doesn't know, of course, is that killers of supernatural beings, not necessarily just people. I don't have any blood ties to Tonomaki Hisa. In other words, the dreams of murder have to be my own. If that is the case, there's only one thing left to do. I hear voices coming from the lobby. I wonder if Akiha's back. I get up from bed. I want to hear the truth from Akiha. Gathering up my courage, I knock on the door. Akiha, I want to talk. Nissan, please come in. Her voice is bright and cheerful. Taking a breath to compose myself, I open the door. It certainly is rare for you to come to my room like this, Nissan. Just like this morning, Akiha has a smile on her face. Seeing that, I just stand there wordlessly, wanting to go back. I guess after all, I felt that myself as Tono Shiki and my sister, Tono Akiha, are important to me. But still, there's something I have to ask her. Akiha, yes, what is it, Nissan? Akiha appears to be looking forward to a fun conversation. Oh boy, is she in for a treat. Gritting my teeth, I look her seriously in the eye. Please tell me about the Nanaya family. I think I have the right to know. In that instant, Akiha freezes like a puppet whose strings were cut. Akiha wordlessly stares at me. If you won't answer, then I'll rephrase my question. My old man, Tonomaki Hisa, had 2 personalities, right? And not just him. Almost all the members of the Tono family have some sort of illness. I used to think that's what I had. But that's wrong. My anemia came from that incident 8 years ago. Because I know. You were adopted by the Tono family, right? Saying that, she smiles for some reason. Akiha? Akiha slowly and elegantly walks to the window as if she was in a play. The curtains billow in the breeze. Placing her hand on the window, she turns around. Oh, we get this alone on a Friday night. God, you're pathetic, Nissan artwork, which is amazing. I love this art. Nissan, you were adopted by the Tono family. Your real name is Nanaya Shiki. As you say, your health condition is due to that accident 8 years ago. You appear to already know that members of the Tono family are different than most humans. Akiha succinctly says a thing I had the most difficulty asking. Akiha, that... it's okay. It was only a matter of time, and I did not like hiding it. Now that you know, there's no need. No, well, maybe there never was a need. And there's no need to put up with any of this. Is that not right, Nissan? Akiha says with her voice full of confidence. Akiha, so like I thought Yes. You are the one Father adopted 10 years ago, but you do not remember it. Do you remember the Shiki who used to play with us? No, I don't. That's right. It's because Father hypnotized you. Shiki was someone who could not resist his Tono blood. You may not remember it, but that day 8 years ago you protected me from Shiki. You sacrificed yourself to protect me from the bloodthirsty Shiki. That is how you were killed by Shiki, and Shiki was killed by Father. It is the duty of the head of the Tono house to dispose of those who are no longer human. Killed? But I'm still alive, right? Yes. By a miracle you survived. You remember what happened afterwards, right? You were taken to a hospital, and the day you returned you were adopted by the Arima family. That is when Father hypnotized you. You were not fully healed, so your heart and mind was weak, so easily believed what Father told you. I see. Then that's enough. If you understand, then there's no need to talk. I'm not a member of the Tono family, right? Then you don't have to force yourself to call me brother. Soon I, an outsider, should leave this place. Don't get me wrong, Nissan. I do not call you Nissan for the sake of society. Do you not remember? Even before you were killed by Shiki, I called you Nissan. It had nothing to do with you being adopted. I knew from the beginning you were not my true brother, and you accepted that too. So no matter what you think, you are Tono Shiki. So please, stay here in the mansion. Akiha's words make me happy, but I don't understand. Why does she accept me, an outsider? Why? I'm not even your real brother. I want her to be like, that's what makes it so frickin' great, Nissan. Goodness, after all I've said this, you still do not understand. You are the only one I will call Nissan. Even if you do not wish it, I just want you by my side. Because I love you, Nissan. What? Akiha says something totally unbelievable. I'm happy she likes me as her brother, but as long as the situation remains, I can't be here. No, I'm not the kind of person you think I am. You see Shiki as a killer, but I'm a killer just like him. A killer, what do you mean? I can't keep it a secret any longer. Everything I did up until now, the dream I had last night, the bloodstains I can't explain, and the dream where Akiha killed me. I can't trust myself. I thought those were just dreams. But my old man wrote that the Naya were a family that produced killers. If I became like Shiki, I don't know what I'll do to you, Akiha. I lay it all out to her from the bottom of my heart. You know what's great about this route? You know what's really, really, really good about this route? And it's something that I've noticed about a lot of the routes in this whole game, right? It seems like every route not only gets the answers to more questions, but it gets to those old answers in better, faster ways. Like, this was like huge info that like we didn't know until way late in some of those other ones, and now it's like we're like what, halfway through, and it's like, yeah, we're literally talking this out, and she's gonna say, oh yeah, don't worry, those are just killers of like monsters, like don't worry, right? It's really just digging, like it's every time you do a route, it is more info and the older info at better times. And I love that. I really like that because it really makes it so that it's like, okay, yeah, you're retreading some material, but now we're retreading it in this conversation where it's like, oh my god, we're getting all this out of the way right away, and now we'll see where it goes. I really like that. I really, really like that. We'll see here. But after blinking in surprise, she tries not to laugh. What's so funny? This isn't a joke. You may not believe me, but I really have dreams of sucking people's blood. Akiha's still giggling. What is this? She makes me look stupid, worrying about all this. Yeah, it is funny. See, you can't be a vampire. Because you are from the Nanaya family, your blood is only human. Besides, the Nanayas are not killers. Certainly, from Father's point of view, they are. But the only ones the Nanaya feel a homicidal impulse towards are non-humans. So what you saw had to just be dreams. And even those dreams are probably just Shiki transmitting them to you. So it isn't right that you want to see them. So it isn't that you want to see them. Shiki transmitted them? Come to think of it, my old man did write something like that. Shiki stole some of my life, so there's a link between us. I see. Then who's killing on the streets right now? Even if what I saw is a dream, there are victims showing up in the streets in reality. The killer's real. I feel like I've met him before. Or was that a dream too? No. Putting that aside. If there's a killer on the streets, then Shiki is still alive. Akiha, who was just giggling until now, becomes serious. Akiha, in my old man's journal, he wrote that Shiki was still alive. In other words, Father's journal. Akiha tilts her head, curious. My old man wrote that Shiki and I were connected. Then maybe what I saw were really his dreams. No, it's more like what he's actually doing. That might be a possibility. Father's death was suspicious, and it did seem like someone was being raised in an underground cell. Also, I got it super wrong that I forgot about the whole Shiki killed Makihisa thing. That was something I kind of missed. You know, sometimes these plot points just kind of get like a little bit mixed up on me, just because I'm like trying to work together headcanons and stuff. It happens. Wait a minute, Akiha. Do we have such a thing like an underground cell here? Oh, of course. There are a lot of members of the Tono family who lose their sanity, so it's only natural to lock them away before they can hurt the outside world, right? Yeah, I mean, you say that, but where are these? Well, that isn't all it's used for. When I got in trouble, Father would lock... What? You can't do that! When I got in trouble, Father would lock me up down there. For some reason, Akiha sounds like she's having fun. Geez, you can't do that. Well, a chill runs down my spine. I get it. Well, stop talking about it. We have to do something about Shiki, though. If Shiki is really wandering the streets, killing people, then we have to stop him. Is that so? We really do not have to concern ourselves about him, do we? Is it not the job of the police to take care of killers? Akiha, what are you saying? He's killing people, but he's your brother. He has to pay for his crime, but still. Goodness, Nissan. You really are too nice of a person. Taking a breath, she brushes her hair back. You are my only relative. I do not care about Shiki, so you do not have to worry about him. No, we can't just do that. Do you think the police can catch him so easily? And before that, there'll be more victims. I will not do anything. That is not our responsibility. Okay, so then that really makes it feel like the whole dream thing was a vision from the future? Okay. She says this and looks me directly in the eye. Hey, let's not speak of these matters any longer. Talking about murders and... hey, let's not speak of these matters any longer. Talking about murder and killers is boring, isn't it? What? I try to tell her it has to do with our family, but I can't. Her eyes pierce me deeply. Staring at her like that, her eyes seem to take away my resolution. Seems you understand. Well then, will you return to your room? I just came back from school, so there are things I have to do. Like Akiha says, there isn't anything to talk about. Still not convinced, I turn away from her. I go to leave her room, and all of a sudden from behind a voice tells me to stop. What is it? Are we done talking, Akiha? Akiha stares at me silently. Nissan, you are the most important thing to me. If I'd lost my memories of you over these 8 years, I would not be who I am. Because you are here, I was able to be myself. You are more important to me than myself, so I wanted you to like me. Always. True sincerity. Akiha looks at me like I'm the only thing she sees. But that is just a selfish request, right? This family and I are just a burden to you. That is why I always feared you would distance yourself from me. But that's just me worrying, right? Because you came back here. Because you came back for my sake, she says happily. Seeing her smile, my chest hurts. That's right. Came back because I could not leave you alone here. But now I'm beginning to think I was wrong. I did come back because I wanted to watch over her. But she's wrong. Her eyes are so sincere that I can't lie. But Akiha, that isn't the only reason why I came back. I came back for the sake of the child I made the promise with. Are we going to learn through asking her? That is something that is even more precious than my feelings towards Akiha and something I can't lie about. Stop it. I do not want to hear it. You came back, so that is that. So anything else, such as your feelings, I don't need. She looks away. Akiha looking down like that for no real reason seems very dangerous. Go back to your room. Please do not look like that in front of me, Nissan. Not knowing what to say, I silently leave her room. Jeez. Well, we are not getting the information from her, I guess. The night wears on, and it is almost midnight. It's already way past the time I would usually go to sleep. I lie down and look up at the moon through the window. The night goes by without me sleeping. It isn't that I'm scared of seeing another dream of murder, the killer Shiki wandering the streets, the somehow dangerous-looking Akiha. Thinking of that, I cannot sleep and just look up at the moon. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Hey, I should probably drink something myself with my pomegranate tea here. That's some good pomegranate tea. Last time I drank anything was about 4 hours ago at dinner. I don't want to endure it, so I go to the kitchen to get something to drink. I down a cup of water in one gulp. Why is it so delicious? Because you live in a country that actually puts money into its water supply. I'm calling you out, United States of America. I live in the #1 rated, most delicious, healthiest tap water in North America. That's where I live, and you know what? By God, is it so good. I could absolutely drink that water all the time. Well, that's odd. I was just thirsty. The sensation of fluid going down my throat is just like it was last night in my dream. Huh? Someone's coming. I can hear the footsteps coming closer. Soft, small footsteps that barely echo in the deep night. Shiki-sama, what are you doing this late at night? Oh, Hisui, I was just thirsty, so I thought I'd get something to drink. Shiki-sama, if that is the case, please call for me. At night, you should be resting in your room. Walking around here at night is not good. So, okay, this keeps being brought up in every single route, but nothing has ever happened with it. My only thought is that this is the time when, like, Akiha sucks Kohaku's boobie for heat. That's my only thought, but even then, it's like, that happens in the out room there, the Shiki room, so it's like, why? Hisui speaks plainly. There's something wrong with her words. Telling me it's not good to walk around at night means she's telling me not to get out of my room at night. No more than that. Hisui and Kohaku-san have worked here since they were very young. So, it would not be strange for them to know that I was adopted. Hisui, there's something I want to ask. Is it okay? Yes. If that is the case, then let us go back to your room. This is not somewhere to be having a conversation. Nah, it's fine. It's just something small anyway. Hisui tilts her head. I take a deep breath. If she doesn't know, then asking her will be revealing a secret. But I don't intend to hide it anyway. I'll make it short. Did you know I was adopted? Her shoulders shakes. That tells me she did know. I see. Well, if you know, then Kohaku-san must know too. What's this? This really isn't a secret after all. Shiki-sama, that is... She says that as she lowers her eyes. I'm so very sorry. Even if you are adopted, there is no doubt that you are the eldest son of the Tono family. Akiha-sama accepts you as a relative, and you are mine and Nei-san's master. Thanks. If you say that, then I believe I can stay here. Shiki-sama, please do not say things like that. This really is your true home. I know. Well, that's what I think too. Even though it was just for a short while, what happened to me when I was a child is very important to me. I can't throw it away. Hisui looks visibly relieved. But I still want to know. Before I came here, it was Nanaya? If you know, could you tell me what kind of child I was? I'm sorry. Other than that you are the eldest son of the Nanaya line, I do not know. Makihisa-sama completely destroyed all the records. I see. Well, if he made me act as Tono Shiki, then all the records of me as Nanaya Shiki probably were destroyed. But, Shiki-sama, Nei-san may know something. Huh? Hisui, why would Kohaku-san know anything? Nei-san took care of Makihisa-sama ever since she was young. She may know more about the Tono family than even Akiha-sama does. Come to think of it, Kohaku did say she was Makihisa's servant. But I thought that was just take care of his condition once in a while. Oh god. Oh, it was his condition. But it was a lot more than once in a while. I don't know why my 3D model is like really laggy right now. Like, bro, you okay? I'm just gonna disappear for a sec. Oh, I'm frozen, help. Help me. I'm frozen. There I am. Huzzah! I'm stuck. Can I move? Can I move? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's better. That's better. I don't know why. No, I'm still really slow. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my computer needs a reset. It's fine. Well, you got to see me disappear for a bit. Yeah. I didn't realize she was his servant from that young an age. That Kohaku-san, since she played with us every day, I just can't picture her being near my old man all the time. This is how he figures it out! To be honest, Hisui seems like she was more suited for that. Always looking down at me, Akiha and Kohaku-san from the inside of the mansion. Is that true? But that's odd. Why would my old man tell Kohaku-san all the things he would not even tell Akiha? No, I do not think he told her directly. Since Nei-san was always near Makihisa-sama's room in the mansion, I believe she had many chances to overhear Makihisa-sama thinking out loud. Always near my old man. But that's what Hisui, who stayed in the mansion all the time, did. Wait. Kohaku-san was always with my old man as a child. Hisui looks down. Something just went wrong here. The feeling of inconsistency comes back and everything falls into place. Kohaku-san knew about the promise that only Hisui should know about. Hisui forgot about the promise made 8 years ago, but it might just be that I reversed their roles in my memory. If that's true, then... Hisui, I'll ask one more time. But do you remember about 8 years ago? Yes. About how I gave you that ribbon, right? That's right. After I left my room, you stopped me by the entrance and gave me a ribbon. Do you remember what color it was? It was white. What about it? There's nothing wrong with her answer. But she's already wrong. Thud. The power drains from my legs and I collapse onto the chair. How could I have been so wrong up until now? Shiki-sama? That's wrong, Hisui. I was given the ribbon under the tree in the garden, not by the entrance. Okay. I know some people don't like the anime music, but I gotta say, it is so much better when it hits at the right time. Like, they all have a bit more of a startup and then a kind of a drop, and like, if I can time that right, it's like, yeah, there we go. Let's go. We figured it out. Oh my god. I've been waiting for this for so long. Hisui gasps and falls into silence. Why? I don't get it. Why did Kohaku-san try to trick me? Why didn't she just tell me that she was the one I made the promise with? Shiki-sama, please do not tell Nei-san about this. If she finds out, she will have nowhere else to go. All of a sudden, Hisui says this. If she finds out that I knew you two changed places? She silently nods. Then it was you who played with us and... Kohaku-san was the one in the mansion, right? She silently nods. Why? Why did you act like you traded places? There's no point. Or were you guys playing around with me? It was not our intent to deceive you, Shiki-sama. We cannot even fully describe it ourselves how it came to be. It started 8 years ago. After you were adopted by the Arima family, I think I just became calmer than before. Nei-san tried to cheer me up by acting very happy, and then we gradually traded our roles. But why? Why did it happen? Hisui, you are always so energetic. That is not true. I am naturally not active, but when you were there, I tried to follow you as hard as I could. Yeah, I remember. The girl who was always cheerful, always smiling, the most free-spirited, who would always worry over us, who put up with us the most, who acted like Kohaku-san would if she was younger. Really. I think you were cheerful even if I wasn't there. That was your character. Trust me, since I, the one who followed after you, am saying this. Yes. Those days were very fun. I think those were the 2 best years of my life. But something crumbled after you left, Shiki-sama. Kia-sama started to hate Makihisa-sama, and then Makihisa-sama became very strict with Nei-san. The happy days were then over. I gradually became very quiet and could not even work anymore. So Nei-san took over for me, smiling like I always used to, running around like I used to. In turn, I took over Nei-san's old role. That was the easiest for me. At the same time, it fulfilled Nei-san's only wish. Kohaku-san's wish? I don't understand what she said. Only that Hisui really thinks about Kohaku-san. That is the only thing I could feel. Hisui, what do you mean by her wish? Nei-san always wanted to be like me, but for my sake she held back. I think it is just an act for her to work in my place. She pretends to be me and kills her own will. She is just a doll that only acts like a Hisui from the past. I was scared of that Nei-san. Nei-san lost her identity, and I realized that she was just living by acting out someone's role. I think if I go back to my old self, Nei-san will return to her old true self. Nei-san said this when we first traded places. It's okay, Hisui-chan. Until you become cheerful again, I will take your place. So no matter when, once you're cheerful again, I will give you back your role. I was scared of those words and I thought I should return to myself right away. But then by accident, I saw her walking around happily in the garden. Nei-san really looked happy. I did not know I looked that way back then, but she was really happy. All she did was walking by herself. All she was doing was walking by herself. Nei-san was only pretending to be Hisui. Even still, she looked so happy. So, Nei-san just does not realize it, but I understood that Nei-san always wanted to be like that. I just could not destroy that. Biting her lip, Hisui holds back her tears in silence. Shiki-sama, please let Nei-san stay the way she is. If you do not, she will lose her place. I can only nod to her words, but that definitely is not the correct choice. No, considering she'll kill everyone unless we do this. Kohaku-san has to pretend to be the Hisui from the past, and Hisui has to pretend to be the Kohaku-san from the past to protect that. Hisui's been watching Kohaku-san, who only knows how to live a lie, but she says she will live with her. Still says she'll live with her. That still... Wait. Hisui has always been... Whoa, why is this sentence killing me? Hisui has been watching Kohaku-san, who only knows how to live a lie, but still says she will live with her. Okay. That has to be difficult. That is a difficult sentence. Shiki-sama, please promise me you will not say anything to Nei-san. Fine. But Hisui, are you okay with this? Hisui doesn't answer. Full of conflicting emotions, I get up from the chair. All I can do is leave the downcast Hisui behind in the kitchen. Boy, we're gonna absolutely break that promise. Going back to my room, I noticed that the door is open. Did someone go outside? Hisui must still be in the kitchen. That means it's either Kohaku-san or Akiha. To be honest, I want to sleep. My body and heart are tired. I feel I could collapse if I don't sleep. Just tonight, I feel like if I don't sleep, I'll break. I should save the game. Save the game. Go look outside. Let's do this. I should check it out. I should also be prepared to censor the screen, I bet. I go outside. The previously present moon is now obscured by clouds. Huh? Someone is opening the front gate. I start to say something. Akiha. Akiha looks quickly over his shoulder and exits the gate. Out of nowhere, my chest starts to pound. Was this the future night? My heart seems to pulse with new life. I can feel the blood coursing through my body, the shaking of my fingers. A chill runs down my back. Despite that, my body feels like it's on fire. Akiha, what is she doing this late? I feel dizzy. I try to sort things out rationally, but I stop. Right now, I have to follow Akiha. Stifling my breath, I say we're going to continue next time, guys, because this is a good point. This is a good point to stop, I feel. Because I feel like we're going to go see something big. Something big. Big, 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 big. So you know what? I will see you guys instead next time for some more Let's Read Tsukihime, where we go to the school, we probably do some ribbon stuff. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe the finale? I don't actually know. We'll have to see, but I'm happy we finally solved the conundrum, it seems. That makes me very happy. Alright guys, I'll see you next time for some more Let's Read Tsukihime. Ciao.